And now, ladies and gentlemen, for this final part, I'll hand you over to the Wachowskis.
And
Wait,
since
what?
it's an Atari game, we're going
Hold on,
to
this is actually kind of funny. This is actually kind of funny.
Yeah,
So let's.
since we're an Atari game, we look like Atari figures.
Oh,
This-
look, one of them's in pink.
And I'm
hold on,
Larry
listen.
Wachowski. Or rather, these are
Yeah,
the
this was back
physical
before their sex
projections of
changes.
our mental selves.
Yeah.
First of all,
Wait, they both
congrats
sex
on reaching the
changed?
final stage of
Yeah.
the game.
Yes.
Oh,
They're now
shoot.
Lana and
We
Lily.
salute your excellence
Lily.
in the gaming
Huh,
field.
so
Just
one...
listen, Jova.
The real
Okay.
reason we're here is to discuss the big problem we faced in turning these three movies into a video game. You see, at this point in the story, Neo stands on the verge of Satori, ready to resolve the paradox of choice and
what?
choicelessness. But that can only be achieved through an
pretentious.
act of
Just
surrender,
because.
which occurs
Also,
after he
yeah,
has
watch out.
been
Just because
truth, accepting
you're
the
making
reality
fun of your
that
pretentious, that doesn't change the fact that you're being pretentious.
Transcending the Cartesian dilemma through the emergence of delimited spirit, which then provides a world with a choice, the third path, the path of
Yeah. I appreciate the self-deprecation, but it doesn't take away the
I
problem.
think what my brother's trying to say is, at this point, it's martyr time.
Yay.
Now, maybe that works in a movie,
Martyr
No, it
but in a
doesn't.
video game, the Jesus
No.
thing is, well,
lame.
Lame.
Well,
It was lame in the
It was
movie.
lame in the movie,
Right now,
too.
you're ready for
Yeah.
15 minutes of sweaty palmed, button pushing.
15 minutes? Oh, God.
Oh,
So
it's
basically,
button
they decided to go full
mashing!
platinum games on us.
Yeah.
Wait. Oh my god, this happens right before the final phase of the boss, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Basically,
they're basically
we're
they're
going-
acknowledging that a lot of stuff has been stupid, and they acknowledge that the climax of the original was stupid, so they're actually trying to rectify that
And
here.
enjoy enlightenment.
Fuck off.
Why do they show up as pixel figures, even?
Atari, Jova.
It's a reference to Atari because Atari was the publisher for this
So
game.
anyway, instead of the pretty lame
Also,
confrontation
CGI
we-
cutscene.
instead of the lame ending we
Wait.
get at the end of Revolutions, this time the Wachowskis and Shiny decided to get a bit more
Creative.
creative in a way.
Basically, Joe, we're gonna go full platinum games on this shit. All the Smiths are going to join together into a massive Robo-Smith.
Hell, this was actually before Platinum Games.
Yeah. Well, they were
So-
still around, just called the Clover Studios.
So let me get this straight. They clearly could have made CGI cutscenes that, while by no means masterpiece, actually look better.
And they
You'll
look
see in a
at-
second, Jova, because this
fine.
cutscene is the only one like this in the game in last, like, what, 2 minutes total.
Not just that, Joe, but remember we were talking about in the previous part about the whole graphical dissonance. This would have fixed the graphical dissonance somewhat.
Exactly. Also, while I appreciate them trying to be humorful, I think they need to learn about comedic timing. Just because you do something in the middle of a serious situation doesn't automatically make it funny.
Oh, trust me, Jova. When you see your person, and you'll see how hard they can fail at humor.
Like,
Yeah.
seriously, even Deadpool knows that sometimes you gotta keep the comedy and seriousness kept at, well, relatively proper values.
Go,
So,
Power
yeah.
Ranger.
Now we've got the giant Smith Megazord.
Okay,
Go,
okay,
go,
okay.
Power Ranger. No,
And
sorry.
how convenient.
Actually, I got it. Whoops.
Oh, and there's just a giant pair of sunglasses. Okay, look. I get that they're trying to be all more humorful and stuff, but this kind of comes out of nowhere. And I know that we've been having some bouts of humor here and there, but for the most part, this game has been trying to stick to the movie sense of being serious. But
And
having
now
a
it
giant...
exists us. Oh,
Having
God.
a giant
Power
effigy of
Smith.
having a giant effigy of Smith just pull out a giant pair of sunglasses. Look, you should, like I said, they should have just gone all the way and actually have gone with this tone from the get-go. Like, they themselves even said that they're treating it. Oh, wait, go on and explain
So
us
how does this work,
goes.
please?
So the final boss, dodge stuff, charge at him, lava rinse repeat.
Brilliant. We could make this boss fun and interesting, but no, that's what they're expecting.
Again. It's weird, though. That last cutscene suggested that, they realize that since it's a video game, they can do stuff differently, yet, for the most part, they haven't been doing stuff that differently.
And yeah, as you can clearly tell from this boss fight, I will freely admit I have about as much patience as Pedro does with the Star Wars prequels.
Wait, I don't get it. Wait, so you can't, dive in at him until some
Well,
sort of opening?
Until a certain thing happens, yeah.
My problem with the Star Wars prequels is not impatience. That's more so with
No.
Peter Jackson's movies.
Okay. Peter Jackson's movies. Then.
Oh.
Try to use the environment to your advantage, okay?
Oh, good. Nice to see that this game is repeating one of my pet peeves of having bland usual music for the final boss. Seriously, you couldn't have maybe gotten your composer to make a special
Wait for
theme
the
for
right
this?
time. Wait for the right time to charge Smith. Ow.
Well, what's that supposed to even mean? It's not like he's throwing anything at you, and I guess you're supposed to evade stuff, but you don't get that much of proper warning. Like, seriously. Oh, wait, maybe this is it.
Nope.
How are
They
you
look-
supposed to know what to do?
They look like really.
Wait until Smith is
strong
vulnerable before you attack.
It
Don't
looked
they
like he
say?
was vulnerable the last
Yeah,
time.
he's a metal biter now.
Yeah, I wish Smith would have talked in his monster voice that he has now. Goodbye, Mr. Anderson!
Yeah,
Yeah,
also,
that would have been funny.
I have to ask, what happens to all the other Smiths? Like, well, seriously, he's a being
They
Remember,
come
they're all
back.
inside.
They're
They're all
inside.
inside that thing. They're all inside that thing.
What, so they're holding all the pieces together
controlling-
like a
Yeah.
giant puppet?
Okay, now
Yes.
we're gonna, every time he throws stuff at us, we're gonna try our best to time and punch it back at him.
And let me guess, this happened because you failed to find a big vulnerable moment, so now you have to do this. It's like in Mario and Luigi's Dream when you're punished for failing a certain thing.
Or at least punch it so it doesn't hurt us, I guess.
Oh my god, this is so boring. And trust me, I've played it. It's not just boring to watch, it's boring to play as well. Like Theo said, it's so slow.
And
Yeah.
and again,
Like-
guys, this is what they actually bothered to have a cutscene to hype us up for. The moment when they were actually going to be creative and stuff.
Because this is what because this is what I want in a boss battle. Slow, boring, down waiting time.
For
So,
comparison, in the first 10 minutes of Metal Gear Rising, Raiden is literally slashing the legs and then the entire body of a Metal Gear.
Hell, again, in like the first 10 minutes of Nier Automata, we're fighting a giant machine.
Yeah.
thing.
heck, in Transformers Devastation, you fight several combiners. Oh,
There we go.
Oh,
You know what the sad part? You know what's the sad part, Dwibs?
Yes.
You speaking of the first 10 minutes of something. In the first 10 minutes of Miracle Mask, we're doing that set piece where we're riding a horse following the masked gentleman, and it's a more fast-paced sequence than this, and it's from a puzzle game, for crying out loud.
not to mention it's something that's more innovative in the context of its own series compared to this. Also, keep in mind, this is like, I think, the first level where we're actually introduced to even so much as fighting while floating in the air.
Okay. What the
This is
fuck?
you know what this
Okay,
feels like?
question, Dwibs. How does him whacking you away somehow knock you towards him?
No, we're flying to. No, we flew towards them. The game registered at me as a failed attempt to try and hit him when it wasn't ready.
Wait.
You know what this feels? I'm sorry. Hold on.
So let me get this straight. If he hits you while you launch him, then it just means that it's a failed attempt and you get a cutscene of you flying at him and doing nothing.
I guess I don't know how this game works.
This game, how lazy can you get?
You know what this feels like, Jova, also?
What?
It feels like a really, really shitty version of the perfect chaos fight in Sonic Adventure 1. Why?
Yeah.
Because it also not only does it involve a destroyed city, it also involves the fact that you have to dodge his attacks and move towards his head, and then a cutscene activates where you hit him.
Oh, wait. So it's supposed to be Smith's
Well,
head
remember
you're
the way you
aiming
do.
for here.
Well, remember in Adventure 1, what
Oh,
you
no,
do
no,
is
no. I definitely remember that here. I'm wondering. So wait, so his head is the weak point here? I'm talking about
yes,
Agent Smith.
kind of. Well, regardless of the head, it's still the same basic concept in terms of gameplay. Just
Yeah.
dodge everything and get close to him until a cutscene triggers where you hit him.
Yeah,
Oh, so that's how you're
there you go,
supposed to
there you go,
know.
ahead.
I'm supposed to wait while he does.
Ask and you shall receive, Joe.
While he does that.
So you just have
Whatever
to wait
that
for
is.
the game to literally tell you when to mash X.
Pretty much.
This is like half of every boss ever.
Depends.
I mean,
If
at
a
least the
clever
other
boss
boss
will
is
do
actually-
something to spice things up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
wait till they do a certain pose and then attack him.
Even this fucking giant robot is boring. Look at it. It barely does anything. Like, all it does is give you these stupid, random, slow uppercuts and this slow slap. the fucking battle against Giant Solaris with Silver was more exciting than this.
Phase 1 or Phase 3?
The big one.
They're
You know,
both big.
the one where he creates this. Well, he puts this giant meteor. He throws at you, and then you're supposed to use your psychokinesis to throw it back at him.
Okay, Phase 3.
Phase 3, that's it. Okay, I don't remember that. It's been a while. When I record, when I start recording Sonic 06, I'll refresh my memory on that.
All right, guys, we're back to
The
Yeah.
this
back.
thing.
But yeah, like I said, that boss battle that I just mentioned, that's still more exciting than this. That's sad. You're being outdone by Sonic 06 game.
Well, that game won't be out for another year.
Even still, though.
Hell, most of the games we've mentioned will be out for another 5 to 10 years after this.
Okay,
so
okay. Shadow the Hedgehog came out the same year, and that was also a much better game than this.
Yeah.
And that one also had some time powers.
I mean,
Shadow the Hedgehog was terrible, but it was a lot more fun to make fun of, and overall
That's
more
a-
enjoyable than this.
And it was
This is
fun
an
to
interesting
play
question,
at
guys.
most points anyway. I mean, you know what? I'll give that game credit. The gun controls were actually fun and intuitive. It was weird that it was in a Sonic game, but at the very least, I can give them credit that, you know, for what they wanted to include, the controls
there's actually
were
something I want to
there.
ask you guys.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Other than God of War and Sonic Rush, were there really any really good games that came out in 2005?
I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
there
Ace Attorney
were.
came out in 2005.
You shot yourself in the foot, Dwibs.
Not just
Oh,
that,
wait.
but-
And now he's throwing Smiths at us like ragdolls.
Yes.
Okay.
Not just that. I'm
So...
pretty sure I can pick first.
Actually, let me pull from Wikipedia. There were The Legend of Zelda Minish Cap,
Yeah.
Resident Evil 4,
Phoenix
which
Wright,
one?
Ace Attorney.
Oddworld The Stranger's Wrath, Star Fox Assault, Xenosaga Episode 2, Tekken 5, Devil May Cry 3, Star Wars Republic Commando,
There was Battlefront 2, I think, as well.
I think so.
The original Battlefront
alright,
2 that
alright.
didn't charge
Hey,
microtransactions.
I'll just talk.
of
I'll
course.
just talk that up to. I'll just talk that up to bad memory because
Oh,
Because,
but the
I
bottom
can't
line
really
was
think of
a lot
anything
stuff.
because I couldn't really think of anything from that year that stood out on the top of my head.
Essentially, Dweebs, there's a lot of stuff that year that good that came out.
It's just this just stands out as a shit stain that came out that year.
Jesus, this movie.
Again, what's wrong with Don Davis's final theme from the movie?
I have no idea. Come on.
Okay, now attack him. Why didn't Neo just go for his head?
Yeah. Hey, are you dead now?
Because, Dwibs, like the Wachowski said, we're trying to be all humorful, and I guess that gives them an excuse to not be smart?
And like they said, it lasts 15 minutes.
You
So
know,
at least-
if a fight is fun enough, I'm okay with it lasting that long. This,
It's not.
unless there's another phase that we're missing here, this seems to pretty much be it.
Oh, now we go for his hand.
Okay, so one of the Wachowskis became a girl, but then I guess the other one became a girl later. Huh.
Yeah.
It's like if
Yeah.
you changed the Super Mario Brothers into the Super Gianna Sisters. Yeah,
That
fun
will
fact,
never
actually, the original Super Gianna Sisters was a bootleg port of the Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
Officially
What
licensed,
was
so they
that
kind of ran into
screen?
trouble there.
Well, that screen just said.
No idea.
Okay, attack again.
Here we go.
Lame.
Oh, finally.
Okay,
back.
so now
I
that he's
took
lost
off
an
his-
arm, does this mean
I
he's
took
gonna
off the
somehow
rest of it
become
now.
tougher?
Well, it's not gonna be
Maybe
much
he'll-
tougher if he's only got one arm.
Well, usually, Dibs, whenever you do damage to a boss like this, their strategies change some way. Like, you know, with
he's
engine.
still gonna try and uppercut us and that with one arm.
Like, you
Yeah.
know, I
And
mean, you
Croatians
know.
at us.
Oh, come on, Dwibs. You're not going to tell me that Engine, a boss on Crash Bandicoot 2 for the PlayStation
Well,
1,
there we
was
go.
somehow
I
more
know, yeah.
intuitive than a boss here on Advanced
Hell,
Technology,
hell.
are you?
Hell, Engine's boss in Twin Sanity was more exciting than this.
Yeah.
Which one?
And that's just basic, the one where we just fire rockets and run away in a circle.
Yeah.
High CIG, so.
And that came out a year before this one.
Liberation Maiden has certain scenes where you're also circling around giant beings, but the gameplay's better there, and the music is actually engaging, as Pedro can attest to. Pedro?
His roar sounds like a discount Hulk.
Pedro?
He's burped.
Bathroom break.
Alright, are you finally
yeah.
dead now?
Now he's lost his face. I think.
What's stopping
he's still
him
going.
from just... Question, if he's all powerful, what's stopping him from just reforming?
No man, I don't
just
know.
like neck.
Oh my god, you're right!
Yes,
So
Jova?
So basically, guys, what you're telling me is that I'm playing the closest I'll ever get to playing a NAC game.
Anyway, yes, Pedro?
What? You were
Wait,
asking for me?
wait. That's the end? They channel straight into a cutscene, that's the end?
Yes.
Yep.
And that's it.
And that's how the agents die, from running into the building. I don't get it. I mean, at least in the movie's ending, it was Neo allowed himself to be absorbed by Agent Smith, and he blew up, and that blew up the rest. But here we just destroyed a giant one.
Brilliant. Anyway, you were calling for me, Jova?
I had a question.
Oh, by the way, guys, now we've got Queen.
Oh!
Why?
Was
Why
this
do you
in
have
the
to
movie?
bring Queen into this?
Was this in the movie?
No.
Oh! Well,
So wasn't it enough? You also have to. Freddie Mercury is rolling in his grave right now.
Yes.
So would
What do
you
you
say
think
that
is
this
worse,
is an
Pedro,
even
this or
bigger
Highlander?
insult to when,
I didn't
Queen
have-
music was used in Highlander 2, The Quickening?
Actually, I think more Highlander 4, the source. So.
I didn't add this, by the way. This is actually in the game.
Why we are the champions of all things?
Because we are the champions and this totally fits in.
It's one of the best songs ever made, and you have to put it in such an unfitting place.
And
That's it.
nothing from
Yeah, I mean,
Mobius,
we don't-
nothing from Trinity. I mean, I know
Nothing from-
Trinity's
nothing
dead,
from-
but the
nothing-
games haven't conveyed that.
Nothing from Neo, even. Yeah, the title character. we
No,
don't know
no,
his fate.
game, you better actually have a proper ending scene.
Here's
Nope,
the thought,
that's the credits.
And we're doing more Queen with the credits. Also, the Wachowski brothers, haha, get it? WB.
Because when I think Matrix, I think fucking Queen.
Although I guess now next time it'll be the Wachowski sisters.
Well, yeah, we'll just call them the Wachowskis for the sake of.
Yeah.
Well, actually, do we even know if they're gonna get any more work? Like,
Well, actually, that's what they go by. Nowadays, when you see the credits for them in something like Sense8, it's always the Wachowski. Just the Wachowski.
speaking of which, do they have anything coming out soon? I don't think I've heard.
They're
any...
making the Sense8 movie. They're making.
Oh,
basically a big-
that thing that they're turning. Yeah, you mean totally
basically,
not a
Java,
bunch of.
Sense8. Yeah, basically, Sense8 sucked so hard to the point where nobody saw it on Netflix. So, as a desperate move, they're going to end the series in a big movie to end it all, basically.
Yeah.
You know something's bad when they can't even make the claims that the Spirit Riding Free franchises have that people are watching it. Like, again,
Yeah,
essentially,
that's the sad part.
after you paid for Netflix, you don't have to pay any extra fees to watch any shows. So people are choosing not to watch Sense8. That bad.
Well, to be fair, Jova, season 2 of Sense8 was made clearly after season 1, whereas, like I've explained, season 1 of Spirit Riding Free came out in May, season 2 came out in September, and then season 3 in November. It's abundantly clear
True.
that all 21 episodes were made back to back. They made it as a 21 season, most likely. There's no way the show was renewed, and then they suddenly 2 months later we have 6 new episodes. That's not.
True.
Yeah, final.
What am I looking at here?
So that was Path of Neo.
Was that a bunch of Agent Smiths running around that letter?
So, Jova, since you seem to be the most perplexed of us at the moment, you go first.
Go ahead.
This game is a failure on so many levels. Like, okay, look, at first I was kind of a bit charmed with how the Wachowskis actually seemed to be, taking the piss out of themselves, but then, like you guys said, they managed to be even pretentious about that, and ultimately failed. Like, okay, talking about the game itself, this game cannot seem to decide whether it wants to be comedy or serious most of the time. And that's a problem when even Deadpool, a series that constantly flip-flops between those two, has a better semblance of it. The writing is ugh, even for the Matrix. The way that cutscenes are tied together is some of the worst I've ever seen in any bit of media, adaptation or not, and oh, that's cute. The characters were running around the title.
How nice. Go
But
on.
yeah, the sound alikes, yeah, terrible. The missions are bland, repetitive, and borderline unfair. The enemies get cool stuff that you can't get. Isn't that nice? And,
sometimes
this,
the other way around even.
and this game does not take advantage of things it clearly should be able to. Like, seriously, no driving scenes? At least try and make something interesting out of those. You couldn't even maybe have us play during the car scene. And you know what? Okay, some people may say, but Neo wasn't there. Here's the problem. They actually are willing to change some events to the point where Morpheus comes with us on a mission he didn't in the movie. So, if you're that willing to, why not just go the Lion King Simba's Mighty Adventure route and just have Neo be there even in places he wasn't there before? Especially how they can't seem to decide if they want to be in continuity with Enter the Matrix or not, too. That was clumsy.
Yeah.
The music is okay. It's either dull at some points or too good for this game at other points, and then wondering why the hell did you drag in these masterful artists at points like We Are the Champions? What the heck is this song?
Why not? And like we have said earlier, where the hell is Navras? Like, the one good thing about the Matrix sequels is the Don Davis score.
Also, these credits are rolling at such an awkward way. Like, look how they're like constantly pulling up and up,
Yeah,
like jerkily.
Yeah, like Pedro was saying, the best thing about the Matrix sequels is Don Davis's music, and that's nowhere in this game. There's there's bits like it, but not it.
Not just that final boss fight. The one thing that was good about the final fight in Revolutions was the amazingly epic track Navras, which is awesome. Like, it's something you would hear in Final Fantasy 15 or something like that. And yet it's completely absent from the game version of that battle, even though they're so completely tied together. I mean, I don't... Go ahead.
And worst of all, the frame rate. Like, seriously, even in scenes like this, like, look at the credits. They're just jerking up and down. I mean, maybe it's how they go up, but seriously, look at them. It's like the credits are lagging. Okay, I feel like the whole thing is bouncing while going up.
Boing, 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 boing.
Like, this is some of the worst frame rate in a game I've ever seen before.
It's the credits.
In a generation where lag was really not meant to be that much an issue. On the PS2 of all things. Like, this is the same system that, let me remind you, had games as big as the Kingdom Hearts games, Final Fantasy X, heck, Crash Bandicoot, Crash to Insanity.
Damn, even IO Interactive got roped into this by crediting one of its developers for giving them original paper or something. Basically, if you don't know, IO Interactive make the Hitman games.
To cap it off, though, this game should not have been a failure. This game should have been so easy to make something good out of. Like, Matrix or not, there was so much potential, and it got wasted, I dare say, even more than the movies themselves.
Well, yeah, I mean, you think they'd learn from the mistakes, but apparently not.
Nope.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll have better
yeah,
luck with their
that's the-
Speed Racer video game.
Well, actually, Joe, the Wachowskis had nothing to do with the Speed Racer game, funnily enough.
Also, that's why that game was regarded as good.
Or at least better than
The movie.
this.
Yeah.
Anyway, you done, Joe?
Yeah, next.
Right. Since I have to go potty, I'll be fast. Basically what Jova said, but seeing as I've actually played this one, yeah, it's really jerky and and it's really hard to look at. And I'm not even talking about just the graphical quality, it's the frame rate. It constantly goes from like near 60 to like 15. And for a PS2 game that came out in the year 2005, that's not. No, that's not. I mean, it says something when SSX, a snowboarding game that was a PS2 launch title in the year 2000, has a better frame rate than this.
And a better voice cast, I dare say.
Yeah, well, I mean, at least they were original characters, and funny enough, Trevor, those characters in the SSX were voiced by like EA employees.
Yeah.
Like one of them was like one of the managers at EA. So
I'll take even Dante's weird line about filling your Dark Souls with light in the first Devil May Cry over this.
It's sad when a professional voice cast who are good at other things are outdone by a freaking office manager. But yeah, I mean, the missions aren't exciting, and the game really, really loves its cock teasing. In fact, it loves its cock. Especially in the mission we saw in the last part with the Keymaker.
Yeah.
Where he's like, oh, come to me, I'll just shut the door. Even though Agent Smith's nowhere near the door. But yeah, crap game. Be right back. Try not to destroy the Matrix while I'm gone.
Alright.
I failed to see why that's a problem, but go ahead, Theo.
I'll go next and be very quick as well. This game sucks. Like, there's no even denying that. It's slow, it's annoying, it's boring, it's full of filler. It's just wrong on every single conceivable way. So just skip it. And do yourself a favor and skip it. Like, watch one of those recaps on YouTube about the whole franchise and be done with this franchise until Warner Bros. Decide to reboot it. But as I mentioned, it's still a game. This game in particular was ahead of its time, because I still stand that if it was done today, in modern day, with the mentality that Warner Bros. Has right now, it could have been better. But sadly, we get this as a result. Alas, next.
Okay, as someone, a little bit of history from you for Matrix real quick. I never liked the sequels to begin with, like most people. And even though I did enjoy the first movie way back when it first came out, as years went on, more and more, I at first didn't mind the fact it was pretty much a poor man's version of Ghost in the Shell. But as the years went by, I just started to my opinion on the movie just started to sour, and I don't even like the first movie anymore. So obviously, a game like this wouldn't appeal to me at all. Okay, maybe if the gameplay is good, I can enjoy it. No, the gameplay is terrible. It's slow. It's boring. And the game just does everything in its power to throw needless filler at you to make the game longer. I get that if we stuck to the movie stuff, the game would be too short. But damn, is the new stuff so completely out there and removed from anything else? It sticks out like a sore thumb. It's also the game looks hideous. This game looks hideous. Fahrenheit looks better than that.
Yeah.
And Fahrenheit was basically the same kind of art style. And yet it looks much better than this. It came out in the same year, by the way. So, what happened, Shiny? What happened? Yeah. Point of all, there's nothing else I can really add. It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. Did you know, guys, by the way, that there was going to be a Matrix Online at the time as well?
Actually, there was. It was discounted in 2009.
Yeah.
It was
Right.
not handled
It didn't
the
even
best.
make it out. Well, the franchise didn't even make it out of the 2000s.
All right, so that was Path of Neo.
Yes, I hope you enjoyed watching us suffer. And well, there's no more. And with that, there is no more Matrix material for us to commentate on.
So what will replace this then, I wonder?
The inevitable reboot when that happens, which, to be honest, despite some people's anger, because reboot, this is one I actually wouldn't mind seeing a reboot of the Matrix.
The original wasn't even that good to begin with, so
Yeah.
I mean, again, the first one had the problem of sometimes the humans were less emotional
Not just.
Six?
I would argue there's even way more than that. But again, this is not. We're not here to talk about the movie. So finish us off, Dwibs.
Well, and with that, we have covered the entire Matrix franchise, well, what we can cover at the moment. So I hope you enjoyed our excursions, and maybe we'll do a Squirm Generations of the movies again, adding Jova and or Shiroi into the mix.
Yay!
But for the time being, I'm not going to do a Matrix one. See ya.
See you.
Yeah.